Hey guys, what's happening? It's Engineer Pat 52 coming to you with January Q&A responses to kick off 2020. I have got to say this is off to a really good start. A lot of diversity of questions here, and we even have a couple of new users in there too. So, welcome back to our return users, and also welcome to our new users participating. We're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to work our way up. I've got to say there's a lot of good questions in here this time, guys. We're going to start with Amtrak 2115, who comes in with a few questions. Great to see you again. The NS Horsehead or the Stripe scheme has to be the Horsehead scheme for the win. The 45T-2 or the 40T-2, SD40T-2. ES44C4 or the Tier 4 GE. The ES44C4 was basically BNSF's modified version of an ES44AC, but the Tier 4 has to be the winner on that one. Favorite iPhone? I actually like the newest one, the iPhone 11. Baldwin or Lima Locomotive Works has to be Baldwin. The favorite supercar, if it's like an automobile, Corvette and a Mustang. Favorite high-speed train? In America, the Cell Express. Favorite fast food chain? Well, I like McDonald's a little bit. I also like Wendy's. And I also love Chick-fil-A. I don't consider that fast food, but it's another one of my favorite restaurant chains is Chick-fil-A. The F59PH or the PHI? Definitely the F59PH because it was just the upgraded version of an F40PH. That's all it was. The F59PHI just didn't really like the cab design. So, thank you very much for your questions. Conrail 722 SD80 Mac comes back. Great to see you again. Favorite GE and EMD models? Now, I do like a lot of the older EMDs. All-time favorite, SD40-2, both high hood and standard cab. For GE, the C40-8 standard cab. And also like the Dash 8W. Which rail has the better ACUs, NS or CP? Definitely NS for the win. Favorite Amtrak model? F40PH for the win. Would you rather see a C40-8M Zebra or a BC Rail -8M Duo? Would not mind seeing the BC Rail Duo. If you could rail fit any state for a whole year, where would it be and why? North Carolina, because it's on the Old Southern. I love the Old Southern. I've just fell in love with it for a couple of years now because that traffic down there is pretty good. So I love the Old Southern Main Line. So thank you very much for your questions. BNSF Bishop comes back. Good to see you back there, old good buddy. Longest train you've recorded? Oh my gosh, I've filmed countless trains. And probably the longest one I filmed has probably been 20 minutes. I have no idea. It's probably been about 15 to 20 minutes. What do you prefer on GEs? The steerable or high adhesion trucks? I actually like both trucks. The steerable trucks are actually designed for tighter turns, which is pretty cool. And CSX has actually put some of those on their GEs, but Norfolk Southern always uses the high adhesion trucks on their GEs. Have you ever caught a train that stalled or went into emergency? Very fortunately, no. Now, have you ever caught a street running train? Well, I have seen pictures of trains running in the streets before, but I haven't actually filmed that. But that's a project that I will work on. Favorite cab design from any locomotive company? For EMD, it has to be the standard cab. On the SD40-2, GP38-2, and all of them. For GE, it has to be the standard cab on the Dash 8. Are square cabs are only a CSX thing? I kind of don't understand what the question means, but if it's like the square cabs on the Dash 3, yeah, that was a CSX design. I was not really fond of that design. I think they tried to copy NS on that one, but that the cabs that CSX put on for the Admiral cabs on their version are just terrible looking cabs. Now, Norfolk Southern did nail the Admiral cab. So, thank you very much for your questions. Railroad Velocity Productions comes back. Good to see you again. Do you think it'd be great if UP4014 pulled the CSX Santa train? It'd be cool to see a steam locomotive pull it. Uh, I actually would not mind seeing a Seaboard locomotive pulling it. I mean, I would not mind it at all. You think NNW 1218 should come back? Oh yeah, without a doubt. Pair that with 611. I mean, that would be great. Number three, should Amtrak start a steam program? I There's really no answer for that. Uh, there really is no answer for that. But Amtrak did the Heritage program, which I thought the Heritage program was really, really nice. So thank you for your questions. Railfan Hunter comes in. Great to see you, buddy. Do you like trestle shots? Oh yes, I love trestle shots. That's one of the things I'm trying to work on now is trying to get some across the trestle at one point. I'm trying to figure out the best places where to do that. So that's a project I'm currently working on. The the NS 8105 or the 1074, 1074. NNW J611 or the NKP 765 has to be the NNW J611. Do you plan on taking trips to Reidsville, North Carolina or Roanoke? Haven't decided yet. What's your favorite semi-truck brand? That is a good question. I do have several favorites. My all-time favorite is Kenworth. I love the W900 and the T800. For Peterbilt, it's the 389 and the 567. I also like the 359 as well as the 379. For Freightliner, I do have a few favorites from them. I love the Classic XL, which is my all-time favorite Freightliner. And I also like the Freightliner cabovers. For internationals, the 4700 and 4900 series trucks, as well as the 9600 series cabovers. So thank you, sir, for your questions. Andrew Leib comes back. Great to see you, buddy. Which of these Class 1 freight railroads do you mostly prefer? Out of the options here, UP, BNSF, CSX, or NS, I prefer NS. And for the western side, I do like Union Pacific, but I prefer BNSF because they still have a lot of the ATSF units around. When it comes to railroading, do you most prefer steam, diesel, or electric power? I like variances of all three. So, yeah, I do like variances of all three. Now, which of the following fares do you mostly prefer out of the four? The Nickel Plate, Pearl Marquis, Clinchfield, or the Milwaukee Road? Has to be the Milwaukee Road and the Nickel Plate. They're the two I'm most familiar with. So thank you very much for your questions. Steve Weeby Beebe comes back. Yes, great to see you, buddy. You coming to Tweet Team next year? Haven't decided. Where do you predict 4014 will go next year? I'm not sure. I'm kind of interested in how that's going to play out. Thoughts on the NNW 475 with the headlight in the center of the smoke box? Actually, that looks pretty cool because on some railroads, that is actually a mechanical aspect. Some of them have the backup light, which I thought was very cool on a steam engine. Best sounding steam whistle? I've heard lots of. I love the 611's whistle right now that's on it, and I also like 4014's whistle, and I also like the 4449's whistle. How would you like it if VO7 was led by a steam engine, even though it's possible? Um, Excuse me. I apologize. Um, it would be interesting. It would be interesting. I was be really interested in 1218 Poland. So that's a little something that's pretty cool right there to think about. So thank you, sir, for your questions. Virginia Railfan 67 comes back. Good to see you again. Opinion on the SD50s. It was just another EMD, but that one had some mechanical nightmares on there. But CSX still retains some SD50-2s, and they even have some SD50-3s. The SD50-3, the one thing they did was just upgrade the electronics in it. That's all they did to it. CP or CN has to be Canadian National for the win. Barbecue or steak? Well, it depends on the day. I do love a good piece of steak every once in a while, but I do like my pork barbecue. I do love me some barbecue. Favorite Midwestern short line? I really don't have a favorite out there just because I don't really see a lot of those out there. So I don't really know a good answer for that. But for Caltrain or Metrolink, I like Metrolink. Metrolink has A lot of cool equipment. Caltrain, I believe, still has some F40 PHs out there too. But Metrolink, I believe they've always had F59 PHs, which is one of my very favorite EMD passenger locomotives. So thank you for your questions, my friend. Stephen KC Railfan comes back with another nice long list of questions. Thank you. Favorite parts or booby traps in the Home Alone movies? Oh, I love Home Alone. I love the first one. The first one's my favorite. Um, just everything about those movies were great. Those are really good classics. What special scheme for us would look better for an ACU? Breast cancer or law enforcement? Has to be law enforcement. Favorite SEPTA Silverliner? Silverliner 2 and 3. Steakhouse fries or curly fries? Steakhouse fries at Red Robin are my favorites. Curly fries, they're okay, but the curly fries at Hooters are good. Thoughts on the Amtrak 606 with the Coca-Cola? Yeah, that wrap looks good. CP or KCS? Gotta go with KCS here. Pennsylvania GG1s or the New Haven EP5 electrics? I actually like both. Like or dislike the BN? The BN was an interesting railroad, but to me, ATSF was the better half. 45 TH2 or the SD35? SD35 with the high hood cab in Southern paint. Applebee's or Red Robin? Red Robin for the win. M59 PHI or the MP36? I love the MP36. Favorite CP paint scheme? Golden Beaver, as a matter of fact, is my favorite, as well as the earlier paint with the maroon and gray that their ACUs actually wear, their Heritage ACUs. Rock Island or the New York Central? I do like both of those. Thoughts on Bachmann's HONS Heritages? They actually did a pretty good rendition of all of them. Mountain Dew or root beer? Mountain Dew. My favorite root beer? A&W. RFMP or the Seaboard Coastline? Oh, buddy, I love both of them. I love the Seaboard Airline. Airline was better half of the Coastline, the SCL merger. For RFMP, it ran from Richmond to DC, and I love Richmond, the RFMP, because it's a local railroad. Have you got any interesting flat car loads while rail fanning? I have seen sewer pipes, locomotives for export, as well as Caterpillar equipment. So, very nice long list of questions here. Thank you very much for your questions. Um, I have a few more left. Take username comes back with another few questions. Thank you very much. Is there anything particular looking forward to this year or even this decade? Well, I don't know. I got to give that one some thought. Any trains you're hoping to catch the chance to catch this year? Well, I just got to figure out how the year's going to play out. Favorite holiday? Christmas. Do you like Legos? Oh yeah, I played with Legos as a kid. Favorite sports to watch? Football and basketball. Have you ever played Pokemon? No. Have you ever solved the Rubik's Cube? Oh man, I tried for hours with that thing, man. I never could figure it out. But I know a friend of mine who did. Have a favorite arcade game? Pac-Man. I love Pac-Man. Now, do you like buses such as Metropolitan Transit buses? Oh yeah, especially the articulated buses. Baseball or softball? I love them both. Baseball because I played it as a kid. Softball, there's a whole bunch of pretty girls that play it, so I have a little touch for softball there. And do you have a particular favorite steam locomotive or wheel arrangement? 484 is one of my favorites. Uh, 28284s are pretty cool. I mean, the wheel arrangement doesn't really matter to me, but they're all just different. So that concludes part one of this series. Part two, we will finish it up. All right, I'll see y'all in part two.